Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear student, I hope you will be fine. Today we discuss scientific research design, step 7, time horizon. As you know that research process for the basic and applied research, step 6, scientific research design. The research design consists of three parts. First part is the detail of study, measurement and data analysis. Nowadays we are discussing the detail of study. Today we discuss the one part of the detail of study is the time horizon. Horizon, basically there are the two types of time horizon faced by a researcher: cross-sectional studies, longitude studies. Time horizons, basically firstly we discuss the cross-sectional studies in the particular phenomena and the particular time. When the researcher conduct a based research with the particular phenomena in the particular time, in the given time, is called a cross-sectional study. It often imply and survey the strategy, questionnaires or interview. Basically, in these types of studies, the researchers have adopted a cross-sectional research strategies. It may be seeking to describe the incidence of the phenomena or explain how the factors are related to in the different organization. They are find out the degree of differences of the factors between two and more than two organizations. This study may be quantitative, maybe the qualitative method could be used by the researcher. The longitude study, the peoples or phenomena at more than one point in the time in order to answer the research questions. Here the focus of the researcher is only to solve the phenomena of on the one point in with given times in only one shot of the time, and they have receiving the questions of the answer of the research. Because data are gathered at two different points in the time, the study is not cross-sectional kind but is carried longitudinally across the period of a time. In a different time periods you collect the data. Firstly you collect data, after passing some period of the time you regather your data information for conducting the study. Cross-sectional studies and longitudinal studies, here we discussed with example. For example, participant of the different ages studied at the same time is called a cross-sectional study. When the researchers are defined their participant in the different ages studies at the same time, that type of studies calls cross-sectional studies. When we are talking about the longitudinal studies, one group of the people study over a period of the time is called a longitude studies. Longitude study, basically the researcher have conduct with the same group with the various period of time. Now we can also differentiate the cross-sectional study and the longitude study. One point in a time, the several point in a time, different sample and same sample, snapshot of the given point in a time and change at the societal level, the change at the individual level. And for example, British social attitudes survey, labor force survey is examples of cross-sectional time horizon study. The British birth cohort studies, understanding of the studies basically focus on the individual, is called a longitude study. Here is the different points and degree of differentiation between the cross-sectional study and the longitude study. Cross-sectional studies, basically one time in a time, and the longitude study several the researcher conducts several times conduct the study in a time. Conduct the study many times but in a time. Different samples, same sample in the longitude study. No sample is not be changed. Snapshot is given point in the time change at the social level. The change in case of longitude you can only change on the individual level, not a whole level you conduct the change. British social attitude survey, labor force survey is a good example of the cross-sectional study. And when you have find out the British birth cohort studies, Pakistan birth cohort studies, understanding of the Pakistani society is the example of a longitude. Okay, dear student, I suggest you please you watch our previous lecture, and I also suggest you please watch our this video step 7. After watching a step 7 you are able to understand the step 8. I hope you will be fine and doing well. Happy Ramadan again. Take care. Allah Hafiz.